And we are live. How's it going, everyone? Very excited to have our guests on. And today we have projects coming from all corners of decentralized finance. This event is specifically focusing on chain derivatives and synthetics building within Web3. The summit is pretty notable because we saw an explosion of DeFi in 2020 and 2021. And according to DeFi Llama, there's close to $200 billion locked across all chains and DeFi platforms. So notably, it's very fitting to have this event and really talk with builders who seem to be building this next wave of decentralized finance in the form of derivatives. So we have a bunch of different protocols on, and everyone is building a slightly different product. But the main idea here is one, to just learn about each protocol, what they're building, but then get onto more just broader discussion on where is DeFi going, the importance of derivatives, and all sorts of other stuff regarding Web3. So with that being said, bear with me as I set the stage for our guests. Our first project is going to be a multi-chain DeFi protocol that is building intuitive derivatives and a trading platform. Our guest today is Eric, co-founder and CEO of Injective Labs. How's it going, Eric?
Hey, how's it going? Really glad to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. And I think it's great to see that you guys are building the infrastructure for a multi-chain DeFi ecosystem, specifically targeting Cosmos. So I think it's really exciting, and we'll definitely get into that.
Yeah, we'll love to.
Awesome. Cool. And now we're going to jump into our next project. And this is a project that just launched mainnet last week on Solana. So 01 protocol is a derivatives exchange that offers perpetuals, but also is looking to offer some unique products, which we'll get into. And today our guest will be Ryu, core contributor and core founder at 01. How's it going, man?
Hey, Greg. Super excited to be here. Thanks so much for having us. Like you said, we just launched a few days ago, so yeah, just super stoked to be sort of sharing 01 with the rest of the DeFi world.
Yep, amazing to have you guys on, and it's great to watch you guys launch. Excited to hear what's coming into the future. So with that, we're going to jump to our next guest, and this guest is also building multi-chain, notably on Solana and Near, which have garnered massive attention recently. I'm referring to SpinFi, who is currently hard at work shipping derivatives both on Near and Solana testnets. Today, we have a few members from the team joining us. We have Andre, who's the product analyst, Dima, head of business development, and Stacy, head of marketing. How's it going, team? Great to have you guys on.
Hello, Greg. Yes. Well, actually, okay. Unfortunately, we work a lot every day. It's it's really difficult to build something on blockchain, I would say. And I think that my friends will come aboard. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely exciting to have you guys on. And I'm going to get into our last introduction here, and then that way we can just jump into this roundtable discussion. Awesome. So our last guest is going to be Cypher Protocol, and I'm personally excited to continue watching Cypher build. They're building dated futures on Solana. I'm actually going to be at the Mountain DAO in Salt Lake City, which they have helped put on. So going to be on the ground reporting on what Cypher Protocol is building. And our guest from Cypher DAO is Barett, who is a core contributor. How's it going, Barett? Amazing to have you on, man. Looks like you're muted.
Classic. It's going well. Super excited to be here. Super excited to see you here in a handful of days actually as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'm actually heading out tomorrow, so got to figure out some logistics for that. But just a little more on Cypher. I think it's exciting that you guys are looking to bring that taste of traditional finance with futures, but then also capitalizing with the use of synthetic assets to get into things like pre-IPO markets. So we'll dive into that. Let's just get everyone on here so we can jump into the first question. Awesome. I don't have any particular order, but we'll start here with you, Barett. Let's just set the stage with everyone. What are the use cases of derivatives? Why do they have so much growth? And just like, let's talk about this whole idea of synthetics, derivatives, DeFi, and what are you guys specifically building at your protocol?
Yeah, great question. I mean, well, there's a lot to unpack there, right? Derivatives in general offer, a multitude of, options, right? You can use them for hedging. You can use them to, gain asymmetric upside, right? There's a lot of different use cases, for derivatives. We're really excited about building synthetics. It, allows you to be very creative in the types of markets that can be launched on a given protocol. Especially as the future is, in my opinion, even there are some multi-chain derivatives platforms here. There isn't going to just be one chain where everything exists. Multiple chains will be the way of the future. And so having that synthetic asset is nice, especially in the early days when not all assets can be bridged. So, we can create dated futures, on a NFT collection, for example, on, that's on Ethereum and not bridged to Solana, right? We obviously are able to create futures around pre-IPO companies. We're also doing this for pre-token protocols as well to really aim to bring that price discovery forward and allow access to certain markets that general populace has been widely excluded from for a number of years.
Yeah, that's awesome. And just to pull some other people in, I mean, you guys don't have to go over exactly what derivatives are, but Eric, it'd be great to hear a little bit about what you guys are building at Injective, and then jump over to Ryu at 01 after that.
Yeah, sure. So over at Injective, the Injective Labs team is working on very, very exciting things. So Injective as a chain kind of started off with this core application of the exchange module, which can be highlighted with all the relayers building on top of it. And all the users can immediately access those relayers to kind of check out the markets and check out the features. And obviously at Injective Labs, we built Injective Pro. And to date, I think on the Injective chain, it has recorded over $3.5 billion. And the very beautiful thing about Injective is that, first of all, there's an order book layer that is completely on chain. All the data is completely available. So that it means that, there's a lot better expression of liquidity. And, within the current structure of the overall DeFi landscape, automated market makers are generally created as a response to the scalability and the state size issue, to kind of mitigate against the shortcomings of implementing a fully on-chain order book. But Injective kind of turns it around and basically builds an extremely efficient and fast and kind of blockchain advocate order book infrastructure. And then on top of it builds like a derivative module. So this way it creates this completely new set of possibilities for the overall DeFi ecosystem. Basically, any type of auction can be happening, and also there's new primitives, new market making strategies, and just in general, far more superior slippage and capital efficiency that will occur on Injective over time with the integration of Cosmosm. So yeah, it's a lot of exciting things that has happened and a lot more exciting things that will happen.
Yeah, that's great. And I think you mentioning the on-chain order book is something massive, and we'll get a little bit more into that. Ryu, curious to hear what's going on at 01, especially with mainnet just coming a couple days ago.
Yeah, totally. I mean, sort of piggybacking off of the whole order book conversation. When we first started working on 01, it was always sort of this question of like, how do we take all the components of a centralized exchange and fully decentralize it, right? Like that's sort of really the dream for a lot of traders, and really sort of what we're aiming for at 01. And as we were sort of working with the Solana team and the CRM team, we realized that dream could become true on Solana. And so we set out to, essentially build out essentially taking, every component of a centralized exchange and decentralizing it from the core, right? And so I think like the order book for one is super important in that element, because it's just a very intuitive and simple way for folks, both retail as well as professionals, to trade, and also it provides sort of granularity to trade that you probably wouldn't get in certain sort of other mechanisms, and so being able to sort of compose directly on top of the CRM order book, and provide this the super high throughput and fast execution through Solana, is sort of getting us one step closer to just taking centralized exchanges and just making them fully decentralized, right? And on top of that, I think like the other sort of core components is cross collateralization and cross margining, which I know a lot of other folks here are working on as well. But for us, it's like, being able to collateralize your position using like any sort of token, not only USDC, is super capital efficient, right? So like I can deposit my SOL on 0-1 and collateralize my position and go long somewhere else, right? And in terms of cross margining, this means you can open multiple positions across different markets as well and have them all share the same leverage, which just makes it a lot more capital efficient for traders. And at the end of the day, that's what people want, right? And so, yeah, like I think really what sort of we're striving for here is like, how do you take centralized exchanges and fully decentralize them? And I guess like the conversation around like why decentralize decentralized exchange is also a pretty interesting conversation. But like the TLDR for us is just like it aligns incentives so much better with the community and with the rest of DeFi. And I think like that's sort of the future that really we're all trying to strive for, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm definitely going to poke a little bit more about this idea of decentralization, DeFi. I think it's a great topic to discuss, especially as we're in the early days. To wrap up these introductions, I know you guys probably don't really need to answer this question of what derivatives are at this point, but it'd be great to hear what you guys are building at Spin. I think you guys, it's awesome that you're also building Near and Solana. And then it even looks like you guys are tying in NFTs to the mix, which I think is a little unique. If you guys want to expand on what you guys are building.
Yeah, sure. I'll jump in here. So yeah, basically building derivatives on Solana and Near blockchains. The goal is basically to be able to kind of serve the institutional traders with a very solid, fast and good working API, and on the retail side, be like the super user friendly DEX for the retail community, and being especially kind of heavily focused on the mobile side of the experience.